What is good, boys and girls? It's Red Apple here with yet another Rust video. If you watched my only so far solo survival episode, you might know that I'm pretty average at PvP. Well, actually, I'm bad.
Do you smoke weed in this car? Yes, yeah. Okay,
So, I kinda needed to do something with this and I decided to set myself a challenge to train bow every day for 30 days at least and see what happens. Why bow? Well, it's basically where the way starts. That's the most common weapon at the beginning of the wipe, and it's also the most common weapon to get better weapons. At least for me, because I'm not a DB kid. So, this challenge is challenging. There are a couple of questions actually which we need to answer. The first question is like, how to train bow.
Ooh, I hit him.
Well, there's a server dedicated to bow training if you don't know that yet. So I decided to hop on it and, well, I faced a bit of a problem though.
Okay, so I'm trying to start recording this video, but my ping is 700. I can't shoot the bow, I'm trying, but I just fucking can't. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start recording the video a little bit later.
You may also see me using a crossbow during this video, not so much though. I don't use it as a lot of players in the server as the main weapon. I usually just make one hit with a crossbow and then the whole fight is bow.
No, I should stop this.
Running a bit ahead, this server has a couple of differences with average, official or vanilla. First of all the players are very noticeable as they are red. So there's no disguise. Second, when you kill anyone, some Heaven Task Force heals you up to 100 HP, which is done to make all the fights more, let's say, honest 1v1, but it can lead to some hidden mechanics, like kill one, heal up automatically, kill another one, etc, etc, but that was not my aim to use those. My aim was to get good aim.
Woo! That was the easiest kill ever.
Second question is how to track results. And well, this is a crucial thing, because how can I say that I got better if I don't have any data to analyze? So, on this server there's a very basic plugin which calculates kill-death ratio. It's very simple, it just shows you how many times you died and how many enemies you've killed. So I decided to take that as a performance indicator and collect this data every time I train.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Fuck!
Just 3 things: possession, time spent, kills, deaths, pretty basic. Of course, something could go wrong with this. You have no idea how many times I died because of those. You might say it would be better to take some kind of accuracy ratio, but what matters in Rust? Well, yeah, a kill, not a shot. The third and the last question is, will I survive that month? Let me explain. Obviously, I didn't want to play all day. I have a full-time job and I have life. And on top of that, I'm not the most systematic person, so if I decided to do something, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna do it. That's odd and sad at the same moment. So, the decision was to play small sessions in order to just not get tired of this challenge, and for some reason I just stuck to a figure 20 and decided to play sessions till 20 deaths. Average length of such session in the end was around 20 minutes, which is a pure coincidence, of course. Moving forward, overall I played 67 sessions.
You should have played 69.
Which is 23 hours and 34 minutes in total, with an average of a bit more than 45 minutes per day. As you may see, not that much. It's not like playing 8 hours per day like streamers or pros, which, in case I succeed, would make the result even more interesting in my opinion, because it will basically mean that you don't need to waste a stupid amount of time to achieve some decent aims.
Feels good. Not that. This feels good.
Max amount of sessions a day was 5, with time played 1 hour 39 minutes. Minimum was obviously 1 session. And as you may see, I was pretty lazy or busy from time to time, it's up to you to decide, as there are a lot of days with just 1 session. But did I succeed? I mean, do I have better bow skills at the end of this challenge rather than in the beginning? Well, let's take a look. At the very first day there was a session which had quite poor result of 0.7 kill death ratio. To be honest with you, I played this server before, not systematically though, and my ratio was around 0.8, which means that I kill 8 players while dying 10 times. Pretty bad, I would say. Although, in the next couple of days there was a boost to 1 kill death ratio, which means 1 kill 1 death. So, in order to make my analysis more relevant, I decided to take as reference not the first day only, but the average result of first 3 days, which is 0.97. So next 10 days were quite good, kind of flowing between kill death ratio 1 and 1.45, with an average like 1.25, which means growth of 25% versus the initial result, which is already good. And then there was a lucky day 13 and day 14 with an average weighted of 1.7. I was joking around and happily giggling, thinking this trend will go on, and at the end of this challenge I will be a freaking killer ninja, but something happened. And then results just stopped. Next week there was no growth, I started thinking something is wrong, and I should not make this video because who the fuck would make a video like this without any good result, right? I was still achieving some good results, and they were quite stable, and cumulative result was growing, but something just felt wrong. That's not what I was aiming at. I was more thinking of a day-to-day improvement, like becoming better every single day. Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, it's a so-called Plato effect. Plato? Basically, meaning that I'm a bit stuck with my exercises because they are all the same every day and I'm not getting any fresh challenge. And secondly, on day 18 I changed my mouse. I had like an average office mouse and it was freaking the shit out of me because it had this idiotic habit to just plug out in the most intense moment. So I changed it and maybe just needed some time to get used to it. And we are coming to the final day's result, which will say, did I become a bow god? I'm still bad at the game. But for some unknown for me reason, the average of last days increased. Last 3 days were at 1.8 kill death ratio, which is 85.3% of growth versus the initial reference. Quite good for such a short period of time, huh? Some of you might say not so much, but please note 2 things. First, I'm not the most experienced player, like half of my hours in Rust are actually dedicated to build servers. And second, sometimes it just happens that a random guy gives you 2 headshots like immediately, and in this situation it doesn't really matter how good are you. It's your dad. Now, this session was the best one with 2.5 kill death ratio, 50 kills versus 20 deaths, and my best 27 kill streak. And this session was the worst one with just 0.6 kill death ratio. I would note, if you decide to do that kind of challenge, this is the picture you'll most probably see. This is cumulative time span, almost a straight line, and this is cumulative kill death ratio. What's interesting that in the very beginning there's like an instant boost, and then it's for a smooth transition to better and better results. And I assume it will even slow down in future, to be honest. As an overall conclusion, I would say, Rust is a pretty hectic game, and good aim is not always helping versus double barrel kids carrying the shit out of you in the dark. There are a lot of other things that matters, like did you notice the enemy first, does the enemy have the same weapon, your reaction, your tactical skills, and more and more and more. But overall, such training gives you a lot of, let me say, game sense. And it's not only good aim, but also ability to react quicker, to think more tactical and all that stuff. Okay guys and girls, this video is very experimental. I personally feel these things quite interesting, but I have no idea whether it was interesting for you, so please let me know. As usual, if you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. If you dislike this video, leave. Yeah, just go. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post to say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my post to say now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across.